I'm back. So I haven't posted for a while, I haven't put any videos up for a while, and the simple fact is I'm too busy at the moment with the baby and everything, and just the household being busy, working from home, that type of thing. But so what I've been wanting to do for a while is post a video on Kinobody, because I think he is quite out there when it comes to the way he markets his business and the way he goes about what he does. And actually, I've got to say, before we do anything, he's actually quite a good guy, so it is actually a positive review. So it's not sort of a clickbait thing about Kinobody. So I mean, his principles are on point. So he puts things very clearly. There's no magic about his programs. What he works with is intermittent fasting, so that it is just another way. It's just a tool to facilitate a calorie deficit, which is, as we know, the main driver of fat loss. So it's something that doesn't work for anyone, but it can work for a lot of people. I've used it in the past, and actually it does sort of work. The way he explains it, or the way he does it, is quite simple as well. You sort of stick to the same type of meals daily to make things easier, and as we know, adherence is also one of the main drivers of all of it, because if you can't adhere to your plan, then it just simply won't work. So another positive there. He says sort of to have 2 coffees while you fast to stave off the hunger, which again, I like coffee, so I can't disagree with that. Also, a lot of water in the morning while you fast. So he uses mineral water, I think San Pellegrino. Use whatever, but hydrate, so that's not bad. What I'll say at this point is that I wouldn't always intermittent fast, because I just like breakfast. I like having breakfast. I'm a hungry guy. Then the next part of his program is the training, which he usually likes you to train about 3 times a week, focusing on heavy compounds, which you use to basically just get very, very strong on them. So there's a percentage increase every week. It's the same sort of exercises, although he does rotate them in his programs. But he sort of works with the movements that give you the sort of the most bang for your buck, if you like. So it's, incline bench press, a shoulder press, a pull-up, a weighted pull-up. Then for legs, he's a little bit different from sort of what you'd think from a bodybuilding program perspective. So it doesn't actually tell you to do barbell back squats or anything like that. It's usually something like a Romanian split squat, which is actually a good exercise. It's just, from my perspective, difficult to overload, but you can. There's a lot of gain. There's a lot of actually growth to be gained from it, and it's a very painful exercise. Also RDLs, so he does work with, there is legs in the program, although you've got usually 2 upper body days, 1 lower body day, so that's actually really good. So again, I agree with all of that. You focus on progressive overload on those movements to get very strong, and as a natural, there's no way around that. He also goes into detail about why he doesn't have a lot of volume there, which I think is also important, because you, as a natural or as an enhanced lifter, I think a big deciding factor on success is actually recovery. So that's just something to go by. So I think from that perspective, his programs are actually really good. He gets a lot of stick for the way he goes about his marketing or his communication, which I personally find cringeworthy as well. But you can't disagree that, the guy usually weighs 180 or something like that, and he's bench pressing, incline bench pressing the 140s, the 150s. I can't do that. I could when I was at my biggest, but certainly not at 180. So it's, again, I think the guy is actually very, very well educated in exercise science. I think mindset wise, he's on something as well, similar books to what I read. I think Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, that type of thing. So I followed him pretty much, I think, since 2014, 15, something like that, when I started getting interested in not being 20 stone anymore, basically. But I think, take what you need from his programs and just discard what you don't need. It's as simple as that. I think, again, to summarize, calorie deficit, a way to achieve that is intermittent fasting. It's not the only way, and it's maybe not even the best way, but probably not the best way. I still think there is something to having, maybe 4 meals a day, more protein feedings than he usually suggests. But who am I to say that? I mean, the guy's in cracking shape. So yeah, that's my review of Kinobody, and I think, again, try it. The programs aren't that expensive, and I'm certainly not anyone that's associated with Kinobody, but I think, from the ones I've purchased, and I purchase a lot of different programs because I just like to be educated in what other people are doing. So things like the Vertical Diet by Stan Efferding, or I got heavily involved with the Dolce Diet, and Kinobody is actually, again, I don't know what it'd personally be like. I like some of his videos because I think it is impressive to see how strong the guy is. So if you're deciding whether or not to buy his programs, for what it costs in the UK, you'd spend more on a night out. Depending where you live, in London, 100%. Here in the northeast, depending where you go out, maybe not, I'm not sure, but I think it's worth it because you learn something from it, you take something away from it, and I think that's just really important. Well, so yeah, that's my review. I'd hugely appreciate if you could like my video if you gained any value from it. Subscribe to my channel, share my videos, follow me on Instagram. It's Chris Titting, so that's DITTING. And other than that, have an amazing time, folks, and yeah, keep pushing.